Have you ever wondered who was the first Roman emperor? Let's journey back in time to the dawn of an era, to the birth of a man who would change the course of history. In the year 63 before the Common Era, a boy named Gaius Octavius was born. This was a time of great change in Rome, a city bustling with energy and ripe with opportunity. Gaius Octavius was destined for greatness from the start, although he didn't know it at the time. Born to a wealthy equestrian family, he was a member of the Roman upper class. His father, also named Gaius Octavius, was a man of considerable influence, serving as a senator and later as a governor of Macedonia. His mother, Adia, was the niece of none other than Julius Caesar, one of Rome's most legendary figures. As a child, Gaius Octavius was known for his intelligence and ambition. He received a traditional Roman education, studying topics like rhetoric, philosophy, and military tactics. But life wasn't always easy for the young boy. His father passed away when he was just 4 years old, leaving him in the care of his mother and his maternal grandmother, Julia. At the age of 18, Gaius Octavius's life took a dramatic turn. His great-uncle Julius Caesar was assassinated, and in his will, Caesar had named Octavius as his adopted son and heir. This marked the beginning of his rise to power. Octavius took on a new name to honor his adoptive father, Gaius Julius Caesar. Later he would be bestowed the title Augustus, meaning the revered one, by the Roman Senate, a title that would resonate throughout history. So, from a boy named Gaius Octavius born into a world of privilege and promise, emerged Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus, the first Roman emperor. His journey was marked by resilience, intelligence, and a keen sense for leadership. He navigated the tumultuous waters of Roman politics, surviving and thriving in a world of power and ambition. A young man with humble beginnings, little did he know he was destined for greatness. The stage was set for Augustus to rise, and Rome would never be the same. How does a young man become the most powerful person in Rome? Let's set the stage. Rome, in all its glory, was a seething cauldron of political tumult. The death of Julius Caesar had left a power vacuum, a void that was ripe for the taking. Gaius Octavius, or as we know him, Augustus, was just a teenager when Julius Caesar was assassinated. Caesar, his great-uncle and adoptive father, had named him as his political heir, putting him right in the middle of Rome's political maelstrom. But how does a young, relatively unknown figure navigate such treacherous waters? Augustus was shrewd and politically astute. He knew he couldn't seize power outright, so he formed an alliance with two of the most influential men in Rome, Mark Antony, a general and close friend of Caesar, and Marcus Aemilius Lepidus, a statesman and Caesar's former master of horse. Together they formed the Second Triumvirate, a political alliance that effectively controlled Rome. But being part of a triumvirate wasn't enough for Augustus. He wanted to be the sole ruler, so he began to consolidate his power. He courted the Roman legions, gaining their loyalty with promises of wealth and land. He won over the Roman people with public works and games, then he turned on his allies. Lepidus was forced into retirement. Antony, entangled in a scandalous affair with Cleopatra, was declared a traitor. The final battle came at Actium, where Augustus defeated Antony and Cleopatra's forces, leaving him the unchallenged ruler of Rome. But it wasn't all about power plays and political maneuvering. Augustus was a visionary. He saw a Rome that could be more than just a republic, a Rome that could be an empire, and he was willing to do whatever it took to make that vision a reality. The stage was set for Augustus to take the reins and make history. He had risen from a young, untested heir to the most powerful man in Rome, paving the way for the era of the Roman Empire. But his story was just beginning. As ruler, Augustus would reshape Rome in ways that still echo through the centuries. What does it mean to be the ruler of Rome? It means to hold the reins of an empire, to shape history, and to establish a legacy. And Gaius Octavius, better known as Augustus, did just that. Augustus's rule marked a significant shift in Roman history. He cleverly transitioned Rome from a republic, where power lay in the hands of the Senate, to a principate, a system where the emperor held the ultimate authority. But Augustus was no ordinary ruler. He was a political genius who understood that absolute power needed a subtle touch. He maintained the illusion of a republic, keeping the Senate and other republican institutions intact, but he held the real power. His political reforms were transformative and far-reaching. He introduced a system of provinces, where each was governed by a representative appointed by him. This not only strengthened his control over the empire, but also brought a level of organization and efficiency previously unseen. Augustus also understood the importance of peace and prosperity. He introduced an era known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, a period of relative peace and stability that lasted for over 200 years. He invested in infrastructure, building roads, aqueducts, and monuments. He supported the arts, fostering a cultural renaissance that still echoes today. But perhaps his greatest achievement was his consolidation of power. He carefully balanced his roles, being a military commander, a religious leader, and a political figure. He maneuvered through the political landscape with finesse, gradually increasing his authority until he was the undisputed ruler of Rome. His reign was not without challenges, but he faced them with an unwavering resolve. He weathered political conspiracies, military threats, and even personal tragedies. Yet he never lost sight of his vision for Rome. Augustus's rule changed the course of the Roman Empire. He brought stability to a troubled empire, ushering in a period of peace and prosperity. His political reforms laid the foundation for the empire's future success. Augustus had established a new order, bringing stability to a troubled empire. His legacy as the ruler of Rome is one of resilience, innovation, and the pursuit of peace. His reign stands as a testament to the power of leadership and the indelible mark one man can leave on history. How did Augustus expand the Roman Empire? This question takes us to the heart of Augustus's military prowess and strategic acumen. When we look at Augustus's military successes, they are as diverse as they are impressive. In Hispania, today's Spain and Portugal, he launched campaigns that tamed the wild northern tribes, bringing them under Roman rule. His victories in Hispania were not just about conquest, but also about integration. He built roads and cities, integrating these new territories into the Roman economic and political system. Moving on to Gaul, present-day France, Augustus continued Julius Caesar's work, solidifying Roman control. He didn't just conquer, he also created a lasting infrastructure, setting up a network of roads and cities that would help Gaul contribute to the empire's wealth and stability for centuries to come. And then, there was Egypt, the jewel in the crown of Augustus's military successes. With the defeat of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, Egypt came under Roman control. The fertile Nile Delta became Rome's breadbasket, ensuring the empire's food supply. But Augustus did more than just secure resources. He incorporated Egypt into the Roman administrative system, ensuring its smooth governance. But military victories are only one side of the coin. Augustus's true genius lay in his ability to expand the Roman Empire through peaceful means. He understood the power of diplomacy and alliances, of marriage and adoption, of granting citizenship and rights. He knew that the strength of an empire lay not just in its armies, but also in its people, its culture, and its institutions. Under Augustus, the Roman Empire grew in size, power, and influence. From the Atlantic Ocean to the Arabian Sea, from the Rhine to the Sahara, Rome's dominion was felt. New territories were incorporated, existing provinces were strengthened, and Rome's borders were secured. And so, we return to our initial question. How did Augustus expand the Roman Empire? He did so through military victories, yes, but also through strategic planning, wise governance, and a vision of an integrated, prosperous empire. Under Augustus, the Roman Empire reached its greatest extent, becoming the most powerful entity in the world. What were the key achievements of Augustus? Let's delve into that. Augustus's reign was a pivotal period in the history of Rome, marked by significant political, social, and architectural achievements. One of his most notable accomplishments was the establishment of the Pax Romana, or the Roman peace. This was a period of relative peace and stability that lasted for over 200 years, from 27 BCE to 180 CE. It was a time of great prosperity and growth for the empire, a time when arts and culture flourished, and the standard of living improved for the Roman people. In addition to maintaining peace, Augustus was a prolific builder. He once claimed that he found Rome a city of bricks, but left it a city of marble. This was not mere hyperbole. He commissioned numerous building projects that transformed the cityscape. These included the Forum of Augustus, the Arapacis, and the Mausoleum of Augustus. His architectural marvels were not just for show, they served practical purposes too, providing spaces for public gatherings, religious ceremonies, and even his own final resting place. But Augustus was not just a peacemaker and a builder, he was a reformer too. He established a professional army and a civil service, two institutions that became pillars of the Roman state. The professional army ensured the security of the empire, while the civil service efficiently managed the day-to-day affairs, from tax collection to public works. These reforms not only strengthened the empire but also provided employment opportunities for the Roman people. Furthermore, Augustus's social reforms also left a mark. He promoted traditional Roman values and morals, and enacted laws to encourage marriage and childbirth. His efforts to restore the old Roman virtues were part of his larger mission to bring about a moral renaissance in Rome. So whether it was the peace and prosperity brought about by the Pax Romana, the architectural wonders that still stand today, the establishment of a professional army and civil service, or the revival of traditional Roman values, Augustus's achievements were manifold and far-reaching. Augustus had forever changed the face of Rome, leaving a lasting legacy. How did the reign of Augustus come to an end? This question brings us to the final chapter of his life. Augustus, the first Roman emperor, the man who had seen Rome through decades of transformation, was not immortal. As the years wore on, his health began to decline. In his later years, Augustus was plagued by a series of illnesses. He was often bedridden and his strength waned, but he continued to govern Rome with an iron hand. His spirit, it seemed, was indomitable, even as his body grew frail. In the year 14 after the birth of Christ, Augustus breathed his last. His death was not sudden, nor was it unexpected. He had been preparing for it, ensuring that Rome would not be left in chaos. He had orchestrated a succession plan, grooming his stepson Tiberius to take over the reins of the empire. Tiberius, a seasoned general and an able administrator, was not the charismatic leader that Augustus was, but he was competent and capable. Augustus had been careful to instill in him the values of leadership and governance. He had taught him the importance of maintaining the peace and prosperity that Rome had enjoyed under his rule. When Augustus died, Rome mourned. The city that he had transformed from a republic into an empire grieved the loss of its first emperor. But even in death, Augustus continued to shape Rome. His succession plan ensured a smooth transition of power, preventing the kind of civil unrest that had plagued Rome before his reign. His death marked the end of an era, but it was not the end of his influence. His policies, his reforms, and his vision for Rome lived on. They shaped the empire in the years to come, influencing the reigns of the emperors who succeeded him. Augustus's death marked the end of an era, but his legacy lived on, shaping the course of history. Through his life and his reign, Augustus left an indelible mark on Rome and on the world. His story is a testament to the power of leadership, the importance of vision, and the enduring impact of a single life on the course of history. So, who was Augustus really? This question has been our guiding star as we journeyed through the life and times of Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus, born Gaius Octavius. In his lifetime, Augustus traversed the path from being an unknown youth to the first emperor of Rome, leaving an indelible mark on history. Our journey started with the dawn of a new era, the birth of Gaius Octavius. We learned how he came to be known as Augustus, a name that would resonate through the annals of time. His early life was a fascinating tale of intrigue and ambition, a testament to his character, and an indication of the great leader he would become. We then explored his meteoric rise to power, a journey marked by political maneuvering, alliances, betrayals, and battles. From the ashes of a Roman republic fraught with civil war, Augustus emerged as the undisputed leader. His rule brought stability and ushered in an era of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana. Augustus was not just a political leader, he was a military strategist par excellence. His military successes were instrumental in expanding the empire and consolidating Rome's power. He secured Rome's frontiers, established a standing army, and created a navy, actions that would shape the future of the empire for centuries. But Augustus was more than a conqueror. He was a visionary who transformed Rome with his achievements. His reforms in governance, law, social structure, and infrastructure set the foundation for the Roman Empire's golden age. He initiated public building projects, improved the road network, established a postal service, and even reformed the calendar. His influence can be seen in every aspect of Roman life. As we moved towards the end of his era, we delved into his death and succession. Even in death, Augustus exhibited foresight, ensuring a smooth transition of power, a testament to his leadership. But what is the lasting impact of his reign? Augustus's rule set a precedent for future Roman emperors and helped shape the Roman Empire's trajectory. His reforms and policies laid a solid foundation for the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability that lasted for over 200 years. His military strategies and administrative reforms would influence empires and leaders for centuries to come. In essence, Augustus was a man of vision and action. His life gives us a glimpse into the sheer power of determination, strategic thinking, and leadership. He was a remarkable individual whose influence extended beyond his reign and his empire. Augustus was more than just the first Roman emperor. He was a visionary, a reformer, and a leader whose impact can still be felt today. His story serves as a reminder: great leaders are not just born, they are forged through the trials of life, and it is through these trials that their true character is revealed, shaping history in ways that echo through the ages. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.